Good morning. Welcome to Motivation Morning with Mercy. Okay, so today we're going to continue in our series, which is the journey to self-actualization. We are almost at the finish line, like at the finish point. We've talked about a lot of things, and these things are really very useful and vital to us as we continue in our journey to self-actualization. The reason for this particular series is that there is need for everyone to feel actualized, like to feel fulfilled, to feel that they've actually done what they are supposed to do in life. But one key thing that we should know is that when it comes to purpose, the truth is that when it comes to purpose, we cannot always exhaust everything we want to do on this earth. And that is a plain truth. We can't always exhaust everything we want to do on this earth, but however, we can try to ensure that our purpose are being responded to. Purpose is like an inner yearning, something you just have inside of you that you want to bring out there. So it's very important. So towards the reason why we're talking about this particular series, journey to self-actualization. So we've talked about a lot. We've talked about the beginning part of the phases, which is the self-awareness, where the self-reflection comes in, the self-development, where we have the three key elements. The knowledge, the assessment, and the actions. The actions are what we talked about the last time. So we are in this particular phase that we are now. We're going to talk about the self-mastering. It's not so different from what we've been talking about. However, it's trying to kind of like bring it out to tell you all these things you've been doing so far. This is what it can actually help you do. This is what it can lead to. Then after the self-mastery, we come into what we are actually pursuing, which is the self-actualization, right? So for self-mastering, it's key and it's very important because it's relevant in our day-to-day living. When you're able to master yourself to a certain point, you have control over a lot of things. So what the self-mastery does for us is that it gives us the ability to control, give us the ability to understand, and also to make the most out of everything that happens in our life, out of our thoughts, out of our physical, mental, spiritual selves. So self-mastery helps us to make to have control, understand, and make the most out of all these things. As a person, even if as an atheist, that's the truth. You have a spiritual self, you have a mental self, you have a physical self, and all that. So self-mastery helps us to have control over these things. It helps us to have control, it helps us to understand and to make the most out of all these things, right? Now, but how do we do that? It comes through understanding and having control of ourselves. So when we talked about the self-awareness, and basically we talked about how you become aware of a lot of things that you do. You become aware of your thoughts, you become aware of your actions, of your talents, and all that. Now imagine you becoming aware of these things and you are able to actually master these things and how you operate in these things. Now self-mastery, it's key because when we are able to master ourselves, we have control over the one thing that we actually are in charge of in any given situation. And what's that? Yourself. The one thing you have control over, it's yourself. Irrespective of the situation, that's just the one thing you have control over. So with self-mastery, it gives us the ability to actually control how we operate. Now, when there are negative things that happen or negative thoughts that arise in us, it can lead us to a lot of things, like we become unsettled and all that, and eventually eventually it can lead us to kind of like react differently, to have different actions. So with self-mastery, we are able to actually have control over ourselves. We are able to react the right way, not necessarily the right way to the word, but like personally, like someone can slap you now, you're like, I don't know, real like what's wrong with you and all that. But sometimes it might even be deserving, like the person might deserve a slap back. But so with self-control, with self-mastering, because you have control, you understand, and you want to make the most out of a lot of things that happen around you in your situations, you take a deep breath and you react differently, and people are even wondering like what happened. Okay, like recently, just to round off, recently someone kind of like broke my car, like my windscreen, and I wasn't the one driving, someone else was driving. So I was looking, I just smiled, and the person I was driving felt so bad, like how this thing happens and all that. So she was kind of wondering how am I reacting so calm and so unaffected and all that. Then there's one thing I just told her. I said as long as the thing is material, it can always be replaced. And all that. Not that I wasn't going to feel the impact of having to get resources, unplanned resources to go and fix it, but like I just have that inside of me. As long as it's material, it's going to be replaced, right? I know that. So that's just going to round off the day. So let's have a bit of self mastery today. Be intentional. If you have not started your self awareness and all that, just try to start it. Have a wonderful Thursday. Yeah, please, if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, do what to subscribe to my channel. Mercy loves you. Bye.